Your podcast recording quality can make or break your show. And if you think you can fix it in post, think again. In this video, I'm going to share with you 3 powerhouse recording tips that will transform your podcast and save you hours of frustration in post-production. So let's get to it. So first, my biggest tip. If you haven't done so already, get yourself a dynamic mic, okay? The microphone I have right here, which is the Rode Pod mic, the OG, the original one. This is a great mic, okay? It's great because it is gonna save you from doing a lot of work in removing background noise. Background noise, it's terrible. No one likes to deal with it. And it honestly is a sign of a low quality recording, okay? So use something like a dynamic mic like this. Now, tip number 2, aside from use a good microphone, is make sure you're recording ISO tracks at high quality. Okay, so isolated tracks are going to save you when you're editing. Okay, if you're recording in person, use something like a multi-track recorder, like I used to when I was recording in person for my show. Used a Tascam DR70D. Okay, but a Zoom PodTrack P4 is great for this sort of thing. If you're recording using remote recording tools, more often than not, they have ISO tracks built in. It's just going to save you in editing process. Before we dive into our final recording tip, let me ask you this question. Once you finished recording and editing your podcast episode, how are you going to get it onto Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all the other podcast platforms out there? That is where a reliable media host can help. At Libsyn, we're the original podcast media host. For over 20 years, we've been helping podcasters, both big and small, reach their audiences and monetize with best-in-class service, support, and tools. So if you're ready to start your podcast, do me a favor and click the link in the description below to sign up with Libsyn today. The last point when it comes to recording, be mindful of your recording location. Okay, what does that mean? Well, I would say don't record in a place that has like 10-foot ceilings. It has hardwood floors and you're recording next to a window, right? Be mindful of what you can control. Obviously, we are not all recording in a nice sound treated studio, so we have to do the best we can. Things I suggest to kind of alleviate a lot of the issues you're going to deal with in post, put curtains up, really heavy curtains. If you can get heavy curtains, great. For your windows, that'll help you with reverb. Put down carpets on your floors, that'll also help. Obviously, look at your space that we're going to be recording in, because obviously if you're doing something like a remote recording, you can control that one space, okay? And do the best you can. And a lot of that does come from experimentation and kind of seeing what are the issues that I'm dealing with in post that I can try to eliminate at the time of recording. So be mindful of your location. Obviously, if you've got screaming kids that are down the hall, maybe don't record when they're awake. Record in the evening. Those are things you can control.